Dear students, in my previous class, I explained the prominent novelists of pre-independence period. Today we discuss the novelists of post-independence period. The novelists who started writing novels before independence, they continued their writing after independence also. But amazing fact is the scope and the concept of novel writing has been completely changed, and new fiction writers began to adopt different types of themes in their fictional works. Mulkraj Anand, who enjoyed much popularity before independence, began to lose his ground or his popularity declined after independence. And Raja Rao and R.K. Narayan, after independence, as a fiction writers, received much popularity and recognition all over the world. Then Raja Rao, in his second novel, The Serpent and the Rope, abandons the milieu of his beloved South India for a cosmopolitan story spread across Europe and India and deals with ancient Indian philosophical traditions of dualism and non-dualism. So, Raja Rao continued to change his philosophy or continued to change the concept of his stories, and his later stories, fictional works, began to focus on philosophy. So Raja Rao explained more about philosophy rather than any social issues. So his Serpent and the Rope is a clear deviation from traditional way of concept dealing with a different one. So now he has adopted, in Kantapura we find Gandhian ideology, freedom movement. When it comes to Serpent and the Rope, the situation entirely changes. Now he would like to project his philosophy of life. Then with Cat and the Shakespeare, Raja Rao moves away from realism to philosophical fiction. So again, from realism to philosophical fiction, he moved. So that means gradually his shift has taken place from freedom movement, from Gandhian ideology to, what can I say, now a philosophical ideology he would like to project in his fictional works. His next novel, Comrade Kirillo, is a political novel. Now another novel, Comrade Kirillo, is a political novel that centered around Padmanabha Iyer. So here, Comrade Kirillo is centers around Padmanabha Iyer, a young London-based Indian Marxist who calls himself as Kirillo. So here, Comrade Kirillo centers around Padmanabha Iyer, who is an Indian-born Marxist, and the entire story moves around himself. And his character resembles Dostoevsky's character in The Possessed. So in Comrade Kirillo, we find Padmanabha Iyer as a protagonist, and he calls himself as a Kirillo, and his character resembles Dostoevsky's character Possessed. His other novels are The Chessmaster, his Moose, The Policeman and the Rose, and on the Ganga Ghat. So till 1993, so he started writing novels long back, and his novel writing continued till 1993. But what is amazing fact about this Raja Rao is that he shifted his focus from freedom movement to realism and social issues, from social issues to, what can I say, philosophical things, from philosophical things to and political things. Like that, he continued to show different aspects or different concept he has in his mind, but as a whole, he has become extremely successful fiction writer dealing with different concepts and different ideas. So that is the reason why he is placed one among the trilogy in Indian writing in English. Beside, R.K. Narayan, Mulkraj Anand, and Raja Rao. Now again, we meet R.K. Narayan. He started writing fictional works before independence, but he continued his habit of writing novels even after independence also. But he received much recognition after independence than before independence. So after independence, he has produced a number of novels. All his novels became extremely popular. That popularity kept him above all the fiction writers of India. R.K. Narayan, well known for his fictional town in South India, Malgudi, became more prominent after independence. He became extremely prominent or popular, received much popularity after independence, not before independence. His financial expert, considered to be his masterpiece and hailed as one of the most original works of fiction. So his financial expert, his novel, The Financial Expert, has lifted him above others, and he remained one of the most popular fiction writer after the publication of The Financial Expert, because The Financial Expert is the complete fiction itself, having fulfilled all the elements of fiction. So it has been considered full-fledged novel with all aspects of novel. His next novel, Waiting for Mahatma, published in 1955, is based on a fictional visit to Malgudi by Mahatma Gandhi. So Waiting for Mahatma is also his popular novel. It is about Mahatma Gandhi's visit to his fictional town called Malgudi. So this novel was published in 1955. So now we come across his third and most popular novel, The Guide. The Guide is the most representative of Narayan's writing skills and elements. The Guide became extremely popular and brought him the Sahitya Akademi Award. So in this novel, we find writing skills and elements of R.K. Narayan. So R.K. Narayan emerged as a full-fledged writer with The Guide. So The Guide indicates his writing skills and the elements he observed in Western fiction. He incorporated all kinds of fictional elements in his guide. That is the reason it became very popular. Then ambivalent in expression, coupled with riddle-like conclusion. So the conclusion is also quite surprising in The Guide. So transformation of the protagonist from material life to spiritualistic life. That forms the basis of this novel, The Guide. The book won him Sahitya Akademi Award in 1958. So he received Sahitya Akademi Award for his noble work, The Guide, in 1958. His other important works are The Man-Eater of Malgudi, The Vendor of Sweets, A Tiger for Malgudi, Talkative Man, The World of Nagaraj. So till 1990, he produced different kinds of novel. All have became not only in the Eastern world, but also in the Western world. Also. All the fiction writers found much curiosity and enthusiasm towards the fictional works of R.K. Narayan, because his novels deal with the common experiences of common people, and these common experiences get vivid projection in a such a way that every character in his fictional works resemble real characters in life. That is the reason why R.K. Narayan's fiction received much popularity and much acclaim all over the world. So then we come across different kinds of different writers besides these Mulkraj Anand, Raja Rao, and R.K. Narayan. So we have another writer, prominent writer by name G.V. Desani, who can be counted as an Indian writer by virtue of his ancestry, wrote only one novel, all about H. Hattar. So G.V. Desani has produced only one great novel, that is called All About H. Hattar in 1948. Now Khushwant Singh has cemented his place in Indian writing in his with his wonderful novels. So Khushwant Singh emerged as a major novelist. So after independence, Khushwant Singh gradually emerged and cemented his place in Indian writing in English for his innovative writings. He voiced the hard realities and sufferings of partition in his novel Train to Pakistan. So Train to Pakistan brought him instant success as a novelist. So this novel projects hard realities and the sufferings at the time of partition. So Train to Pakistan vividly projects hard realities and sufferings of people during partition, how common people suffered. So policies are based not keeping in view the hard realities of life. So hard realities and sufferings became the main plot of Train to Pakistan, which brought Khushwant Singh immense fame all over the world. Then his other novels are I Shall Not Hear the Nightingale. So Train to Pakistan. Besides this novel, we have another novel called I Shall Not Hear the Nightingale and Delhi, a novel. Delhi, a novel. A concern to discover some other authentic being runs through the 5 novels produced by Arun Joshi. So after Khushwant Singh, we meet Arun Joshi, a prominent novelist. So he has written 5 novels. 5 of them are unique in their own nature. So Arun Joshi also finds a prominent place among Indian fiction writers of post-independence era, as his novels, 5 novels, received much readership and critical appreciation from all the quarters of literary world. His characters, problems and alienation which afflicts them are presented as universal rather than specifically Indian. So his themes are universal in nature. So generally when we see Arun Joshi, we generally feel that most of his novels depict Indian themes and Indian concerns. But we deeply analyze each and every line in his fictional works, and his projection is universal rather than a continental, rather than in India. So his themes are varied in nature, and his characters, problems and alienation. Characters, problems, alienation. Intense struggle of human beings or response of human beings to the problems they encounter are well projected, are neatly depicted in his fictional works. That is the reason why he has universal appeal. Every novel of him, focuses or showcases the human problems in such a way that every human being has to encounter the problems in one way or the other. Yeah. A striking feature of Arun Joshi's fiction is his experimentation with different narrative techniques. So, one more important aspect of Arun Joshi's fictional work or Arun Joshi's nature of dealing with fiction is he adopts different kinds of narrative techniques. First person point of view, third person point of view, like that, he continues to change, narrative technique in each novel. So, first novel of Arun Joshi is not same as the second novel, because in each novel he adopts different kinds of narrative techniques. That is the reason, the reader after reading first novel, he doesn't feel, feel bored to read the second novel of Arun Joshi, because in every novel, narrative technique dealing with common problems, exposure of such issues are totally different from his earlier works. That means each novel of him differs from another in its exposition of issues or in its narrative techniques. That is the reason Arun Joshi, is special in dealing with narrative techniques as well as dealing with problems of universal recognition. Or his projection is universal rather than continental. Then his works include The Foreigner is his novel, The Strange Case of Billy Biswas, The Last Labyrinth, The City and the River. So he has written 5 novels. 5 novels are very, very popular. So each novel of him is really amazing to read. Then now what is amazing is the novel writers of pre-independence era and post-independence era dealt with different themes, and nationalism, national integration, and some of the social issues of those days have become plot of many pre-independence novelists. After independence, what happened, the scope of the novel has completely changed, and new novelists began to emerge dealing with different things. So after independence also, Raja Rao and R.K. Narayan continued the tradition of fiction writing and paving the way for new novelists to arrive on Indian writing in English. And that is the reason we find Khushwant Singh, as I said earlier, a prominent Indian novelist. Then Arun Joshi, Khushwant Singh. These people, began to extend the scope of Indian fiction in English, dealing with different kinds of aspects or different kinds of themes. So post-independence writers and pre-independence writers are completely aware of Indian culture and Indian heritage. They exposed our nature, our culture, our psyche in different angles. And some of the novelists dealt with the themes concerning India only. Some of the novelists went beyond India and exposed universal themes and universal concepts, bringing attention of the world literary giants towards Indian writing in English. This is about novelists of post-independence India. Thank you.